painting every color for you, just to show you.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Skigh, and this is Elevated TV, and this is going to be a reading for Pisces. Pisces, as you can see, I'm getting that Palo Santo burning for you, my baby, because this right here is real. Look, let me get some flame going. Okay, so this is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, nodes. If you have Pisces placements, then you are in the right place. Now, as you can see, I have to get this Palo Santo burning because the Magnetar is cleansing. So you can see the setup is a little different. I'll make sure I put all of the decks in the description box. And I got that Palo Santo on you. Get some of that good clearance of the negative energy. Alright. And we're going to let that burn. Because Pisces, out the gate, you starting out with death and rebirth. Okay? Death and rebirth. Darkness to light. Okay? And your second oracle card is power over difficulty. Reclaiming your power. Alright? So, let's get started with this good number 19. This death and rebirth. Oh, wait, Pisces. Let's go. Now, this card indicates that a time of closure and great transition is at hand. This may seem like a relatively minor event, or it could be something big, like the ending of a relationship, or a job, or long-time residence. Remember, however, that this card signifies important change, Pisces, even out of the most difficult experience or the deepest darkness comes a new light filled with light and unexpected blessings. The Black Panther is a symbol of power through transformation. Now, although the Panthers here are intense, they bring a mystical message that you have the power to let go of your fear of the unknown. When you do so, you will come out of the darkness, enlightened, and wake up to a newly conscious life. Now, the Panther Priestess, she's all dressed in white there. And she comes to tame the difficult energies within this transition. She carries the antler totem. This is the icon of clear perception. And she directs you to open your awareness to the new opportunities coming your way. Any change that may present itself should be considered from a spiritual point of view. Look within. Whether you're dealing with a lost job or shifting or the ending of a relationship, there is a deeper message or lesson in the experience, Pisces. Trust in yourself. Trust in your future, for you are stronger and more resourceful than you realize. Your personal power is charged with the energy of your eternal spirit. It will light the darkness and carry you forward into the truly wonderful new life. Now, your affirmation is, I turn to my eternal soul for power and direction. I fearlessly face the future. That is powerful. One more time for the people in the back. I turn to my eternal soul for power and direction. I fearlessly face the future. That is awesome. There is nothing more to be said about this. Death and rebirth. Darkness to light, which brings us into power over difficulty, reclaiming your power, which is the number 32. We know we consolidate things around here, so this is going to be the number 5. The number 5 is pleasure. Excuse me. It's. I can already see. There's going to need to be some clearing of the throat chakra here, Pisces. Let's move into this power over difficulty. This card brings you a warning that there are situations, people, or patterns in your life threatening to take over. The snake can be venomous, tempting, or even strangling. This card is an important reminder to be honest with yourself and investigate your relationships and your daily activities to determine what may be harmful or dishonoring to you, or even be consuming you. If someone is bringing a toxic energy into your life, it may be necessary to let that person go or at least reduce your exposure dramatically. If a situation seems to be suffocating to you or sapping your sense of freedom and enthusiasm, it's time to rethink your motivation for remaining engaged. And if you're feeling a building resentment for a job or personal task, this card is telling you to learn how to bring a more conscious joy to your experience or even to exit it altogether. Also, be mindful of all of your own personal patterns. Consider the causes of your making and the results that you're creating. You don't want to become the snake that eats its own tail, consuming your own life force and sabotaging your own desire to move forward. Yet, always remember an indomitable strength of your inner spirit and true life force, represented here by the swans, who in spite of their gentle beauty are very powerful creatures, capable of striking anything that attacks. Can you see that? I know it's kind of here. Is that better? There we go. Okay. Where did I leave off, y'all? Anything that attacks? Wait. Okay. Capable of striking anything that attacks. You have that power as well. And this card is telling you to strike out at your own self-sabotaging patterns and to break free from any other limiting influences holding you down. Become conscious and courageous in your ongoing choices. You have the power now. There's an affirmation for this, Pisces. And this right here is just... Here, let me get this back up here because you know we already had an issue with the focus. So, there we go. Your affirmation is, I release toxic people and patterns from my life. I empower myself in my choices and in my relationship. One more time for the people in the back. I release toxic people and patterns from my life. I empower myself in my choices and in my relationships. You know what? I can see right now this is already about to get greasy. I can see right now this is about to get crazy, Pisces. Let's keep it going. So I went ahead and did the trust fall spread. And as you can see, things look a little bit different. Don't even look. I just followed Divine, so I'm stumbling through this. I'm not going to say I'm stumbling through this. This is new to me. This is a new setup to me that Divine wanted me to do. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into it. Our first spot is still our how you were showing up. Your energy. Our second spot is what you need to trust of the lessons. What you need to trust of the wisdom being brought here. The third spot here are the lessons that we're needing to learn or the things that we're overcoming, our difficulties. And the last spot here, number 4, is where we're headed, our outcome. Now, you already noticed that you showing up as Death and Rebirth. Now, Death and Rebirth was your oracle card. When this here happens, and understand that this is major arcana. So when this here happens, this tells me that universe, divine, ancestors, what they're telling us is, listen to this. I mean when I say what I said. Okay? I mean this when I say this. So listen to me. This number is 13. This is the number 4. This is home. This is family. This is ancestry. This is roots. Okay? This is culture. Okay? This is endings. This is cycles of transformation. It's death and rebirth. It's darkness to light. It's change. It's new beliefs. It's newfound awareness. This is symbolic of death, rebirth, and renewal. And this is how you're showing up. Okay? There are some endings that are occurring in some cycles. And you're showing up as this death and rebirth, this from darkness to light. There is a transformation occurring. And when transformations occur, a lot of times, a lot of old things get cut out. Because it's the old. Nothing new can coexist where we have old paradigms. And to give you clarity on that is the moon. When I say this whole, listen y'all, this is how you're showing up in every single one. Every single one is major arcana. You have death and rebirth, the number 13. You have the moon, the number 18. You have the hermit, the number 9. Okay, let's dig in on this moon, because this is our hoodoo deck. And this is Pa. This is Pa, the number 18 right here. And I'm going to go ahead and read from the hoodoo so we can have this correct. Don't want any misunderstandings. Can you see that? Okay. So a grandfather and a grandson are sitting on the steps of a front porch enjoying their company. The moon shines brightly above them. Grandpa has his Prince Hall regalia on and the son is wearing a fez. This card reflects the fact that Black American men were once the most populous members of various secret societies and fraternal orders in the United States. Okay? Now, the word moon has its origins in the Anglo-Saxon word mona, and it was associated with masculinity. Now, in fact, this was also the case for the ancient Egyptians, Cherokee Arabs, the Inuits, the Teutons, the Latins, and many others. Okay, and this may come to a surprise as many of because you know the moon has been associated with femininity in the Western mind for quite some time. Okay, now for the majority of matriarchal Black Americans, the moon may be a fitting symbol for the patriarch of our bloodlines in its entirety, or for our grandfathers. Okay. Now, the moon is illuminated by the light from the sun, yet there is always the side that remains occult or hidden from view. Similarly, it is common for people to know much more regarding the inner or outer lives of the women in their families than they do about the men. Okay, so though the moon appears to shine very brightly sometimes, it only reflects under 15% of the sun's light. It all depends on where the moon is on its journey, its phase, and its angles to the sun as it hits it. Okay, so the moon is known to have a direct impact on the minds of people as well as the Earth's tide. So when this appears in the reading, you're being asked to consider that you might not know everything there is to know about the situation at hand. Not only that, but the details are possibly being purposefully hidden from you. It's most likely that there is no concrete proof that you're being deceived, but you undoubtedly sense that something is wrong. Okay? This may also be telling you that sometimes you must seek truths that have been intentionally veiled or obscured by darkness to protect them. Everyone knows the most valuable and precious items are kept out of reach from casual browsers or lazy thieves who don't want to work themselves to attain it. Okay, this is why our money and our jewels and precious things are kept in vaults and boxes and what have you. So we know that the moon signifies the things that are hidden. Okay, but here with Pa, it's telling us that okay, I'm sorry, guys. I was going to the book, and I'm here to tell you, Divine's in my ear. Like, okay, pull away from that. You've already given the information that's meant to be given behind the card. Now I'll get into what it is that you're feeling. So this card is clarifying your death and your rebirth. And we know that a death and rebirth is a major transformation. So something, of course, there are things that are being cut out. But this particular card falling up under the death and rebirth is talking to us about the hidden things. And this is going to be on the occult level and on the spiritual level. These are the things that are being rebirthed. Okay, so there's a spiritual aspect to things. And when there's a spiritual aspect of things, you're dealing with the shadow self. And when you're dealing with the shadow self, these are aspects of the self that we purposefully deny because they're too painful to deal with. And in doing so, in your death and rebirth, there is a necessity to deal with these hidden aspects of self. Okay? That's what this means in relation to your death and rebirth and clarifying that. And to further clarify that, you're getting another major arcana, the Hermit. Okay? Now this is the number 9. This is purpose. This is laws and ethics. Come on now, Pisces. When it comes down to this whole line, you're needing to trust your intuition. The moon is telling you need to trust your intuition on this death and rebirth. You need to face your fears. Okay? And that this whole thing is going to be a spiritual experience for you. Because it's aspects of the self that you haven't dealt with. Okay? And you going in this hermit mode to do this. Okay? This is clarifying your position of the death and rebirth. Okay? Because when the hermit mode is going into, there's inner reflection and meditation and contemplation. This is searching for inner wisdom. This is finding the guide within. Rightfully so when there's death and rebirth occurring. And what you're needing to trust is strength. All this major arcana on the board. Let me tell you something, Pisces. There is a transformation that is occurring that is monumental. This transformation that is occurring for you, it is monumental. And whenever a transformation occurs, there is always usually some catalyst for that. Something must die in order for something to be reborn. Be it in the self, be it outside of the self, person, place, and thing. It's necessary because things can't cohabitate. Remember about this power over difficulty and reclaiming your power. But what you're needing to trust is the strength. Okay? Look at that. Divine is telling you that you have to have inner strength. That yes, these are spiritual matters that are occurring and that it's going to require you to have some inner strength. Which is something we have to pull on when we're dealing with death. When things, it's painful when things are dying, just as the rebirth process is a painful one. But this is a very transformative experience for you. And you need to have strength in order to deal with it. And strength is the number 8, which is something because death and rebirth corresponds to Scorpio. Scorpio is death and rebirth and corresponds to the number 8. But to clarify that, you even got more major arcana. Listen here, Pisces. There is something transformative that's occurring and you're going to have to get on board with it. Be it that you're having to deal with some things within yourself, whatever it is, there is some death that is occurring. Because this right here is judgment. And this is clarifying the strength that you need to have. And this woman, she putting her hands over her mouth because she in shock at what the bones are saying on the table and what they revealed to her. Okay? You know, this when it comes down to the divination of bones, it requires the reader to have different meanings that are attributed to each bone. And based on how they land, it is decided on how they do their reading with those. Okay, and what is commonly not known is that the bones of chickens and cats were used, but contrary to popular belief, it was about whatever kind of animal, you know, or median that the root worker wanted to use as a mean for bones. They could replace the remains of animal bones with keys and seashells and crystals, you know, and what have you. But when this appears in your reading, you're being reminded that it's time to focus on what you need rather than what you want. You're going to have to make some tough choices. That's what this card is telling you. You're going to have to make some tough choices, which is just clarifying your strength. And you need to have the strength to focus on what you need rather than what you want. If you're willing to put your ego aside and do what you have to do, the possible outcome is going to be the best one. And that's going to be guaranteed. But you're going to have to be willing to put your ego aside. You're going to have to be willing to do what you have to do, what you know you must do, what you know you need to do, not what you want to do. And this is going to take strength. Okay? Because you can't do things the old way that you used to do things. And listen, both of these, how you showing up and what you need to trust, Pisces, every single last one of these cards are major freaking arcana. All of them. There's a major transformation occurring, and it's occurring with swiftness. What you need to trust in is going to usher all of this in. You've got the Chariot. You've got the Chariot clarifying judgment. And what I always say about the Chariot, it don't stop till it's going. Huh? The Chariot. Number 7. All these doggone major arcana. Ever since we jumped off of your oracle cards, you've been on major arcana, Pisces. Understand that what the divine is telling you. Okay? You need to have the strength. You need to have the strength to do what you know you must do. What you need to do. Not what you want to do. You need to do this because what's going to happen is you're going to be harnessing the opposing forces and moving them in the same direction. And this is what's going to bring you success. So you must trust in this. You must trust in this hermit mode that you're going to have to go into, and these shadow aspects that you've been not wanting to deal with. You're going to have to deal with them. You're going to have power over difficulty. You're going to have to reclaim your power, and you're going to have to deal with these things. Because what's standing in your way in what you're dealing with is the 7 of Wands. Okay? And with this 7 of Wands here, you're... Oh, my goodness, it's so much going on with you. Let me tell you something here, Pisces. I need to take a breath. Okay, because I don't want this to be long. I might have to cut this. To take out this, me taking this break because there's energy, Pisces. It's been major arcana ever since we came off of your oracle cards. Okay, so what you need to overcome is this being misunderstood. Okay? A need to defend yourself. Okay? The need to erect boundaries. You need to be grounding and you need to be protecting yourself. Okay? You need to be grounding and protecting yourself. Because that's what this is. This is defending yourself. This is being attacked. This is being misunderstood. This is a need to ground and protect yourself. And that's going to be necessary because this death and this rebirth that's occurring, you can't do things the same way that you used to. The same energies, they're not going to be able to coexist. And this is the difficulty that you need to overcome. And to clarify that, you've got the 5 of baskets, which in the Hoodoo, this corresponds to the cups. This corresponds to the cup. And with the 5, so this would be the 5 of cups. Yeah. 5 of cups. Hold on, let me make sure. Because yeah. Now in this depiction of the 5 of cups, so the 5 of baskets for the Hoodoo, the 3 baskets are shown in various states of destruction, and 2 remain unscathed beneath the debris, despite being bent or distorted. Now the 2 baskets that survived whatever was destroyed, and the 2 baskets that survived whatever was destroyed, and the other 3 represent our often untapped inner power and strength. Okay, so what needs to happen here? Because this is in our difficulties and what we need to overcome. We need to overcome this being pessimistic. We need to overcome mourning loss and resenting whatever this is that we're having to let go of. Because there is something that you have to cut out of your life. There is something that is dying here. Okay? And in your difficulty spot, you're having these feelings of abandonment. You're mourning this loss, this separation, this heartbreaking situation, this traumatic experience, this death that's occurring. And you need to overcome that. And to confirm you needing to overcome that, or to clarify that, is the Knight of Cups. And we know the cups are our feelings, and this is messages. Knights bring us messages. Knights bring us messages, and this Knight is coming in to tell us that yes, we are mourning over losses right now, but this isn't a place that we can stay in. We can't stay in this place because it's impeding us moving to our outcome. And this is our feelings. This is our cups. Our cups are our feelings, right? This is you showing up in your difficulty spot. Pisces, you're not speaking. Look, I'm keeping half this. I don't know how many. I done drunk. There is a closing, something going on of this throat chakra. Okay? This is blocking. There's a blockage that's occurring. See the blue? There's a blockage of the throat chakra. You're not talking. You're not talking. And you're brooding over whatever this is that have you protecting yourself. And you're doing this internally. But you're gonna have to die to this, because there's a transformation that's occurring. This is the shadow work that's going on. You might be experiencing a dark night of the soul. Because the major arcana in you being the death and rebirth, the moon and the hermit, and what you're supposed to trust is strength, the judgment, and the chariot. This thing is happening so fast that you're getting swept along in this process. I'm surprised the Tower isn't out here, but it doesn't have to be. Okay? Where you're heading is this Two of Pentacles. And look at you. You know that there's a choice that must be made. And this is where you're headed. To balancing things. Okay? To centering the dualities and adapting to inconsistent circumstances, managing the ups and downs with grace. This is equilibrium. This is harmony. This is where you're headed to. This is why these cups, these baskets, these feelings that you're in this protection mode that you're in, and this mode of state of mind that you're in, you're going to have to push past it. You're going to have to know that regardless to all of this pain or loss or whatever that you feel, there is a lesson in that. You need to get past these feelings and to the lesson so that you can move on to this Two of Pentacles, because do understand that this is connected to your livelihood, to your means by which you make money, and all of your relationships, all your ships, not just intimate ones, because you got all these cups and major arcana on the board. And you're not talking, you're not voicing and saying the things that you need to say. You need to find your voice. You need to reclaim your power. Okay? Two of Pentacles are where you headed. Okay? This is balancing those dualities. This is adjusting to the inconsistencies. Okay, handling the ups and downs with grace. Yes, there's some death and rebirth going on. I mean, like complete total destruction of things is going on. But where you're headed is handling that with grace. And to clarify this Two of Pentacles and you balancing and gaining this harmony, because it seems like there's just no positivity in things. Here comes the Mother of Baskets. Now, the Mother of Baskets corresponds to the Queen of Cups. These are our feelings. Okay? These are our feelings. Look at her. The Mother of Baskets. Isn't she beautiful? This is Chloe Russell. She was the first known author of the Hoodoo dream book in the early 19th century. And she's depicted here as the Mother of Baskets. According to legend, Chloe was full Fulani woman and she was born in 1745. Now, she was abducted from Africa at the age of 9 and enslaved in Virginia. Now, after being freed by her captor, she worked for 30 years as a seer. Thereabouts that Chloe ever existed, but it says that there are doubts that Chloe ever existed. Sorry about that. But that just adds to the mystery. Planetary magical squares have been popular with occultists for centuries. And as root workers began to have more access to Western occult knowledge, many began to incorporate them into their work. This one is the square of the moon. That moon over there, oh my goodness, if divine isn't talking to you. Now, she represents the archetype of the compassionate mother. She is empathetic, she is supportive, she is psychic, she is introspective, intuitive, loving, she is spiritual. This is clarifying your Two of Pentacles energy. You're balancing of the dualities. You're overcoming things. You're not losing your heart in this process. You're not. But you're going to need to rely on your intuition, and this is where you're headed. You're headed to relying on your intuition. This is a spiritual journey that you're on, Pisces. And to clarify that, to kick it on out the door, is the High Priestess.
Just to show you